Good morning, guys. Is it a mega GM kind of morning? I think so. Actually live today. Not just recording live, but actually live. Be cool if people join. In time, for sure, though. Okay, want to be real with you, real quick. What's the purpose of these videos, right? I'm trying to not figure that out, but I'm finding out how to do them, how to make videos the right way. I've worked in the industry, the NFT industry, for 2.5 years now. I have a pretty solid understanding of the NFT market, of the ecosystem, of the tech, and I really want to help explain NFTs to people who are new to NFTs, maybe people who are on the outside looking at it. They're interested, right? And if you're in NFTs, you know that everyone, really, I mean, that's not exaggerating, everyone is going to be touching NFTs in one form or another over the next few years, right? So I'm learning how to do this. I'm told the best way to do it is you package these 10-minute long or so videos, keep it tight, keep it informative. But when you start, it's hard to make a good, entertaining 10-minute video that has all that juicy info that you have to get across, right? And so right now, nobody's winning with the videos I would make, right? The 10-minute videos aren't going to be that good. They're not going to be edited. But they're not going to have the content that they need to have. They're not going to teach people what they need to know and give them that understanding. So again, with that format for me right now, nobody wins. Instead, I'm going to try doing maybe longer videos, still try to keep them as short as I can, but they'll be a little more comprehensive. I'm going to talk about the collections in the top 10 on CryptoSlam that I do think matter for right now, and I do want to touch on headlines that I think matter a lot, even if they aren't affecting the market yet. So that's the new format. Maybe I can chop those videos up and make small, more digestible videos. Gonna just feel it out as I go. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's dive right in. Take a look at the Forecast 500 NFT index to start. That's how I'm gonna start each episode here. This is your temperature check of the NFT market. It's measuring the top 500 NFT collections. It's across blockchains. It's measuring the value of them. It's not floor price. It's not market cap. Those aren't really good measures of the NFT market. This measures a whole bunch of factors, coming up with our own secret sauce to give you a value. And it's pretty darn accurate. You probably feel out there in the market right now, it's down a tiny bit, and you see that on the index, down just 0.3%. But we had a whole week of being pretty much in the green and being up, which was really nice. I felt like that wasn't sustainable. We wouldn't stay on that path, and we're not. And I do think we'll keep trending down. And for quite a few reasons here too, and probably most important is that major mint coming from Rec League. It's actually just a few days away. I didn't realize it's so close, but it's going to drain a lot of liquidity from the space. We know how that affects the space, and there's also something that happens when Yuga Labs has a big mint, and this is a Yuga Labs partner. It's usually the period at the end of a run. So not that we're in a run right now, but you usually see after a major Yuga Labs mint, the NFT space fall off a cliff. And I'm going to show that when I go do a global sales review. But this mint's coming in a few days. Again, not that we're running or hot right now, but I do think this is going to almost bring us to a standstill for the rest of the year. I don't know. Maybe if that game's hot, things change. Take a look at our top 10 collections today. This running list. It's a 24-hour running leaderboard here. Not a lot that's surprising. Bored Ape at the top. D-Market and Gods Unchained, those two, video game NFT collections. These show us a future of what NFTs are going to be. Look at that, high volume. A lot of buyers, a lot of sellers, different. They stand out from the rest of these collections here. They're different. That is what NFTs will look like in the future. Cheaper NFTs, tons of them, tons of people buying, selling, trading, whatever. DeGods, Saints, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Sorare, Play NFT, DraftKings, Tensorians. I am going to touch on Ethereum name service here too, just because they don't often hit around the top 10, and when they do, there's probably something going on. So in this list, what we're going to touch on here in just a few, probably lightly touch on these gaming NFTs, D-Market, Gods Unchained, Sorare, DraftKings too, right? They fell quite a bit, down 31%. Want to touch on Saints? I don't think those are legit at all, man. Like, looking through those sales, it's all coming from mostly the same 1 to 3 sellers. And they're going for like 25 to 30 ETH. That doesn't look right at all. That should give you that should be a red flag for you. For me, it sure is. So we'll look at that one together. Definitely going to dive into Play NFT. I've been looking into that a bit more because I want to understand it so I can explain it to you, and it's interesting. You're rewarded for watching YouTube videos. Pretty cool. Sustainable, I don't know about that, man, but it is cool. DraftKings, might touch on it. Tensorians, yeah, I'll touch on that too, but ENS definitely, we're going to put a little focus there. So now let's get to some headlines, things that matter a lot today, but maybe don't have a market impact today. Number one, absolutely first and foremost here, it's DeGods, right? All kinds of controversy with that in the past few days. They had that Season 3 announcement. And look, people didn't like the art. They didn't like the price point. It's just a lot of things people didn't like about it. And the team now, they're pivoting. They're changing to like a different style of art here. I don't like them moving or pivoting so hard and kind of giving into what the community is in a way demanding, but they're reverting to an older art style that they had made. And they're calling it a downgrade. Man, it's kind of weird for marketing, isn't it? So anyway, they were going to delay this Season 3 now till September to get all these kinks worked out, to fix the art. Not even to fix the price point, though, and I thought the price point was the real issue, charging almost 0.4 ETH to upgrade your DeGod NFT to Season 3. So the price is going to stay the same, it sounds like. The art is what's changing, and it's going to be a more colorful version of their art. But that's actually today. And so far, I think the reception was pretty darn good for it. Like, the community did like this pivot, this change. But does it move the needle in any meaningful way? I don't think so. And when I look at their sales, well, first off, let me refresh here. First off, a lot of wash sales. It's pretty normal, though, right? There's wash sales all the time in all the biggest collections. But the prices are, I mean, they're down. They were almost 9 ETH not too long ago, maybe a few weeks back. Now about 6.5 ETH. Some big sales, though. 40 ETH sale, actually, just, was that last night? Yeah, last night. 6 minutes ago, a 17 ETH sale? Wow. I don't know if this is people exiting the collection, just, like, confidence shook, need to get out, I don't know. But you can see a lot of volume here. They were on the top 10, right? Yeah, number 4. So still really good numbers, down almost 50%, though. So that's coming today. Jack Butcher's Opepen. Okay, Jack Butcher from the Checks project, of course, from Opepen, like I just mentioned here, from that Infinity collection, which was just hacked earlier in the week. They announced Friday a partnership with Pudgy Penguins, who, man, that's one of the top NFT projects, period. And their founder, Luca Netz, their owner, I shouldn't say founder, he bought the collection. But he wants Pudgy Penguins to be the face of NFTs. He wants to be the face of NFTs. I think he's going to do it. I think he'll pull it off. He's a different dude, right? You ever hear him talk? Super driven, like just, he's a businessman. He might have been the founder of Gel Blasters, or at least he might have bought his way into that too, right? But he turned Gel Blasters into pretty much a household name. I see those given away on Kill Tony, and when I see them and hear their name, I'm like, that's Luca. It's like so close to Pudgy Penguins. All right, so you have the newest set of Opepen featuring these Pudgy Penguins. Opepen, it's a 200... How do you even describe it? It's a set of NFTs. It's a 200-piece set of NFTs. Oh, God, it's so hard to explain. But each of those 200 sets has 80 NFTs in it. Of those 80 NFTs, there's 6 unique images. And it gets kind of complicated. But what's really cool is each set is going to have its own look. And now you see he's open to partnering with other collections. So for the first time, you have another collection showing up in the Opepen series. Pudgy Penguins. You never know what could be next. Maybe it could be Bored Apes. Maybe it could be CryptoPunk Opepens. Like, the sky's the limit with this. It's a pretty clever mechanic. It's a pretty way to deliver art and have, like, an ongoing hype cycle. And so far, it's worked really, really well. It's a really highly respected collection out there. And it's done pretty darn well in this bear market. So this is cool. If you have an Opepen, you need to get your claim in today. You need to opt in for this today. I guess technically you have a little more than 24 hours, okay? But then tomorrow we'll find out if your Opepen was selected for one of these pieces of art. And I did enter mine. I have one. And if I get selected, I'll get this guy right here. I think there'll be some pretty decent value to this. Opepen in the past 24 hours, $108,000 in sales volume. All time, though, they're pretty gangster here. Look, I mean, 46 mil, almost 47 million in lifetime sales in Opepen. They're awesome, honestly. Okay, Grails. This comes from Proof Collective. Proof Collective is the project behind the Moonbirds. All those, another show, another episode, we'll talk about them more. They have an art drop. They have these series of art drops. And they just, well, the art was already revealed, right? But the artists' names were not revealed. That came later after you purchase your art. They want it to be about the art itself. So if you see one you like, I think similar to Opepen, maybe you enter your mint pass, your unclaimed NFT, and you enter it for a specific piece of art. Yesterday, we found out who the artists are. It's a pretty damn impressive list here, really, including the artist of Opepen and Checks, what we were just talking about, Jack Butcher. So Jack Butcher is one of the Grail artists. You have an amazing artist like Yazid. I collect him on FX Hash. He's awesome. But this whole list, really phenomenal NFT artists. So they've got the biggest names. Operator, Goldcat, Casey Rees. These are all names in the NFT industry. Pretty freaking amazing art. And does it move the needle? In a way. In the art space, it sure does. All-time 320K in sales volume. Today, 20K. Some of these aren't like massive sales. And here's the issue here, or it's not an issue, but why you're not seeing those astronomical prices here. Well, each of these NFTs, they're not one-ones. There's multiple editions of each. Although this is kind of cool. I didn't realize even within an artist's piece, there may be variations of it. So like Yazid's, there's multiple versions. Maybe each person's in that collection is unique. That's actually really, really cool. Didn't realize that. God, it's so hard to not freaking love art, right? For me, it's my favorite part of the NFT space, easily. FX Hash over on the Tezos blockchain, my absolute favorite. It's my favorite platform, period. Like, I just adore it. And I love their news of fundraising, and they raised $5 million. And their plans to expand over to Ethereum. That's incredible. They have a very, very bright future ahead of them. All right, now this is actually really, really big. Rec League. I mentioned the Yuga thing at the very beginning here, how that typically is going to, the period at the end of a run, it kind of kills any momentum. So this is that mech fighting game. PvP, you're going to fight other players. You're going to compete on a leaderboard. And they've announced their mint date. Okay, that's big. That's new. It's coming up on August 17th. They announced the supply. It's 25,000 of these crates. I think the box has parts in it to assemble a mech. I hope it has enough parts to fully assemble a mech and you don't have to buy multiple boxes. Price point, 158. Okay. This is where things kind of get interesting. Apecoin's having a bit of a run right now, but it's over $2. So what does that put us at? Like a $300 mint. I'm not going to do math here. 300 times 25,000. And then these booster boxes for 5,000 of them at 58. So $100. It's a lot of money, right? It's a lot of liquidity this is going to pull from the space. I'm probably going to mint one too. I think I need to. I got my hands on with a game and it's fantastic. Like, it's really, really fun. And then this week actually got some news from the chairman of Animoca, who is backing this game. They've put a lot of funds behind it. Okay. This guy gets it, by the way. He's like the godfather of NFTs or Web3. He totally gets what we love about it. The provenance, the ownership, the digital ownership, but also like the value proposition that you have as a holder of NFTs, that you can actually make some profits by holding NFTs. Again, he gets it. So they talked about on a Spaces the type of revenue sharing they're going to do. If you own a mech, you have a couple ways to make money, and it's awesome. It's why I'm going to buy in here. You can take your mech, you can sell his skin of the completed mech. So you're not going to sell your parts, which are NFTs, but the skin itself, you can sell that in the non-blockchain version of this game. So yeah, there's two versions of the game. There's one for blockchain NFT people, and then there's a whole other version of it that has no NFTs in it that probably gets around policies, right, on like the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, maybe even like consoles in the future. So there's no NFTs in that, but it will have skins in it that people can buy. Those skins, some of them come from the NFT holders. And if you sell your skin, Yat said he didn't want it to be like 3 to 5% profit that you're going to make from that sale. It needs to be double digits. It needs to be really, really rewarding for you. Again, he gets this space. So double digits, 10%, 15. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more than that. I have a feeling it's going to be more like 25%, 30%, maybe 50%. I would love to see that. Because what? Like, is the skin $5? Give me $2.50 out of that. The type of hype and action you would attract, if you can earn that much on just these skin sales, it would work. All right, so this is a big event coming in, again, 4 days here. It's going to pull a lot of money out of the space. That ape coin is going to fly. And there's 2 more mints coming this year after this. There's a mint 2, there's a mint 3. Those are for Yuga Labs holders, Coda holders, and Bored Ape holders, and probably mutants. And if there's a public sale with that too, I mean, you could imagine that might increase our supply to 75,000 of these boxes, maybe even 100,000. So you can start to understand then how that impacts the space. If you have 100,000 of these boxes sold at a few $100s, people are already tapped out, right? We saw with the Zuki, that 2 ETH mint. We saw with the Cyberkongs, that 0.25 ETH mint. And, well, we're kind of seeing it with DeGods and that 0.4 ETH mint of their Season 3. People don't like having to spend. Will they like it here? Well, they can earn here, so they might be more okay with that. I'm going to mint it. I am. Part reveal comes September 14th. Game opens on September 14th. Okay, so you're not waiting long to actually start playing. Before that, though, people are going to trade parts. They're going to assemble their mechs. So expect to see some pretty awesome secondary action, probably some big sales. And as people figure out that ecosystem and look for where they can earn some profits. And I'm just going to reemphasize that point. There's definitely going to be profits to make here. There is, and I feel very good with Yatsu, with Animoca backing this. I feel really good knowing Yuga Labs found this worthy of them putting their IP in it. For the first time, their IP is on a game outside of their own ecosystem. So pretty darn big. It really is really a big deal. You have a couple days, by the way, to get in that whitelist, that allow list, if you wanted to mint this. And that closes in 2 days. So you kind of got to hurry. All right, another cool story, and then we're on to some market news or updates. Sotheby's is being sued by the purchaser of a lot of Bored Apes 2 years ago. It was 101 Bored Apes, sold for a little over $20 million. I want to say like $22 million. And that lawsuit, well, in the lawsuit, they're saying that the apes were a little misrepresented, that they were sold as this asset that has this mainstream appeal, and they pointed to some celebrities that owned it, like Justin Bieber and Madonna. Who else owned this? Like Paris Hilton, Jimmy Fallon, like all the biggest celebs out there, right? They all owned it. This is going to be driven to the masses. Everyone's going to want a Bored Ape. What they never told us, though people had kind of figured it out, they didn't buy those Bored Apes. MoonPay bought them, and they gave it to those celebs. And you have to disclose that, right? If you don't, well, I don't know what happens if you don't. I'm not the grown-up here. But you have to. You just have to, otherwise you get in some trouble. All those guys independently have been sued over this and probably have active lawsuits still. But this buyer's like, I want to return these. I want my money back because that was false advertising. Here's what's juicy. The person suing may not be just a normal buyer. It might be FTX. I wonder if they touch on that in here. But I did read that it was FTX, actually, that's suing them. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. They said that it was a traditional art collector that purchased them, but it's actually FTX that bought them. So it is FTX, I think, suing Sotheby's. God, and SBF, the founder of FTX, is in jail right now. It's such a crazy, crazy story all around. I freaking love NFTs. I love Web3. It's so bonkers, always. All right, let's do our market review. Hey, by the way, I would love feedback. If anybody's even watching, I don't think you are. That's fine. But on the format of this, do you like that quick market update at the very top, then hitting the headlines, then deeper into some market stuff? Let me know what you think about that. And again, just a reminder, I'm going to put chapters in the description here, so whichever segment you like, I'll have a timestamp there. You jump right to it. If you wanted to hear about DeGods, boom. If you wanted to hear about what I just talked about, the Sotheby's thing, boom, you head right to it. So global sales volume, let's start there. Down a little bit. That's basically even here, right? Is that right? Yeah, I'd say that's basically even here. Okay. Weekend's kind of slower, right? You see that already. I'm going to zoom in. I know this is probably hard to see if you're on a little screen. Okay. Yeah, sales volume down. In fact, lowest since, well, really just a few days. Since August 7th. Nothing crazy there, and that's not what I want to point out. Need to fit this on screen somehow. Trade profits. That's what I want to really point out just to start. We'd been in the negative by $1 million plus almost every day, and we'd only had one day in the profit recently, August 4th. Sellers had profited $87,000. Before that, it had been a month. A month prior was the last time there was any type of profit for the sellers. Well, we're still negative, but yesterday, kind of a little closer to being even. So sellers negative $142,000 yesterday. Already today, negative $681,000. So we're trending in the wrong direction here again, but it's just not as drastic as it was. We probably felt that over the past week with that market in the green that you probably saw on the Forecast 500. Now we're declining, and we're probably going to see trade profits decline right along with it. If we go to the week, though, these are weekly numbers. So this week isn't wrapped up yet. I think in a few hours, maybe just under 12 hours, this period will come to an end. Highest sales we've seen in a month. So there's a positive, right? Previous weeks, we were in the 80 million range. We're at 95 mil so far, and we have hours to go. So we'll cross 100 mil, I think. You have to go back to the second week of July to see similar numbers. And this is what I really worry that the Rec League mint is going to impact the most. As we're trending up, and we're probably, okay, honestly, we're probably trending up because of some of the excitement around Rec League, but also around Opepen, also around DeGods. Those things combined gets people, well, it gets them engaged, right? They're back and at least looking and trying to see where they can at least take advantage of more eyeballs in the space and sell something, exit, even if it's at a loss. And again, that's what we're seeing a lot of. But I think the Rec League mint short-term might drive up some sales, even in other collections. So we might see sales volume increase. It might be even substantial, but I don't think it'll be sustainable. I think that's ultimately the point. I do think we'll come to a screeching halt after that mint, unless it's just super, super hyped. Now look at this. You see this this blip right here, that huge sales day on May 1st? That's 2022. What was that? That was Yuga Labs' last major mint. That was their other deed land. And like I said, after their major mints, kind of a standstill. I want to see if I can position that for you to see. But look, we were doing, it's not like this was good, and you also have to know, have some perspective, like good compared to what? I guess the point here is kind of trending up, but after the mint, straight down, but also lower than before. And it continues for months and months and months. And that's the trend around their mint prior, Mutant Ape Yacht Club. That was back in 2021. That was free, though, for holders, so not quite the same, but it did drive secondary volume. And we slowed down right after. So this was around Mutant Apes. It actually did okay. It wasn't as drastic as last year. But it's just good to be aware of those trends because it's about to happen again. And until that pattern's broken, right? Until they have a big old mint and it doesn't impact the space this way, well, I'm gonna base my thoughts and my moves maybe around historical moves, how it's played out in the past. So again, I think we're gonna have this Rec League mint. I think it's gonna do really, really well. It'll definitely sell out. It'll definitely sell out. But I expect the space to be really slow after that. That is unless they make it super rewarding right away. And if people are making money on it, that changes a lot. See if there's anything else going on here in in the sales volume, anything juicy we can pick out here. But I think your main takeaways here, right? Most sales, highest sales volume in a month. Trade profits. Actually, we got to see where that ends up, right? If it actually truly ends higher or lower. What's the better way? People lost less. It's a weird way to measure things, but it works. Yeah, marginally up. Nothing great. Don't feel good about the future right now. Long term, for sure. I don't mean it as a comment on NFTs not making it. They're going to make it. I heard somebody on Bloomberg talking about it. These industry people are so bullish right now, and they're talking about now being the time to invest. These guys get it. Everything we thought about NFTs is going to happen. It's all coming. This is what bear markets feel like. I don't know that this is the bottom, but it really could be. It really could be. Okay. Just checking my time here. Feeling out how this is going. So I mentioned earlier, almost a little mini review of the top 10 again, though. Bored Apes, always around the top. There's usually not any specific reason for them to be there. If you have a Bored Ape, though, you do get a Rec League mech. You do. So that could drive a little sales here. I pointed out DMarket, Gods Unchained, Sorare, and DraftKings as the future of NFTs, those high volume trades, the cheaper price, for sure. For sure, that is where we're going. So what I really want to point out next is Saints. I said I don't think it's legit. Just, I want you to see this volume and ask if it makes sense. I want you to decide if this makes sense to you. This single seller just dumping all these NFTs at 26 ETH. I don't get it. I don't get it. I can't find them on Twitter anywhere. I don't see anybody talking about them. They're just not wash trades though, right? They're not bouncing back and forth. There's just like one sale on each token. In fact, let's double check that. Yeah. And they're not primary mints either. I don't believe. But you know what? Gets you interested, you want to find out more about it, and there's nowhere to go to find out more about it. None of those social links work at all. Nothing. I don't know. I'm going to chat with the team about maybe removing it. I don't know. I got to see where they're even selling on. Like what marketplace, what platform. Something's just not right about them. I mean, they're selling on OpenSea, I think, but OpenSea doesn't list them as a top collection, so they're not even showing them. They think there's something suspicious there too. Anyway, I'll do my due diligence on that. I'll report back if there's anything interesting, but otherwise, I'm kind of getting tired of seeing them. And also say, Saints, if I'm wrong about any of that, sorry, hit me up, tell me. Okay, Mutants also are going to get a claim in Rec League, so probably, again, driving a little volume for them. Sorare, DraftKings. Talked about those. Again, the gaming stuff, pretty awesome. Play NFTs. I think this is awesome. I did a little digging here on the Binance blockchain. So I've always mentioned it's great to see other ecosystems contributing and for people to get to watch these other ecosystems, especially when volume's low on other projects. Well, they get a chance to pop up in the top 10 collections on CryptoSlam. So this is a rewards platform for watching YouTube videos. It's on a platform called XCAD, Watch to Earn. So how does it work? You buy an NFT, you buy an avatar, you connect it to the website, you actually download a browser extension. And in that extension, I think you could probably search for topics. And in the extension, it'll list videos for you to watch. And you click on it and you watch it and you earn play tokens. It's kind of that simple. You can take those tokens and you can swap it for Ethereum. You can swap it for USDC. You can swap it for another platform currency called XCAD. And I see a lot of people actually doing that. XCAD, look at how well it's done, especially in the past, past week here? Running pretty darn hard. So I look at that and all of a sudden I'm interested in a different way. Like, okay, I'm interested in talking about this stuff, but am I interested in trying it out now finally? And I might be. But zoom out. Oh, damn, holy cow. Wow. Super interesting. All right, so if I wanted to get in and play the coin, it's already recovered most of that value it had lost from this year. Can it get back to their all-time highs, it looks like? Back in October of last year, it would be like a 50%. Yeah, I mean, there's some profits left in here if you think it can hit its previous all-time high. Oh, that wasn't even its all-time high. It was all the way up here back in 2021. Will it hit there? Dude, that's super interesting. I'm not a token expert. I really do like charting, though, and I'm learning it, and I have for a couple years now. I have some good experience in crypto. I've been in it for 7-8 years. That's really, really interesting. Okay, so do you think there's a play right here at the level it's at now, which brings it back to 2022 levels? You think it can head back to early 22 levels, 2021 levels, maybe? But I wanted to bring it up just because it's not that expensive. It's like $400 for that avatar. Yeah, $400. You buy it with the play token. You plug it in. There's different traits on these too. Maybe that affects like a multiplier. Maybe you get more play tokens back. Maybe you earn more from it, or maybe it affects what kind of videos you can watch. I'm not totally sure. Probably worth another deep dive or more, a deeper deep dive. But I did want to show it to you. I was always confused with how exactly it worked, and now we know a little bit, right? It's a browser extension. You click on the videos. 5 a day, by the way. You watch 5 a day. You accumulate the play tokens. You swap that out for other tokens, and that's the loop. On Binance. Pretty darn cool. Oh, I forgot to mention this earlier. I'll mention it here, but Bruce Lee anime, maybe it was funded from an NFT sale earlier last year. I don't want to get too deep into that. I don't know. I don't care. But it's weird seeing Bruce Lee IP in the metaverse in NFTs. He has an avatar on the Sandbox game, so it's not new. It's not new for the Bruce Lee estate. I know part of his family's not happy with it, and a lot of his fans are not happy with it, like you could probably expect. Okay. Yeah, the House of Lee Genesis NFTs, that was, again, last year. Finally, let's do a little talk about Ethereum name service. If you're not familiar with them, I want to remind you, too, I really want to tailor my audience to people new to NFTs who may not be aware. If you've been in NFTs, you know exactly what ENS, Ethereum Name Service, is. Picture it like buying a website, like a domain, like cryptoslam.io, like google.com. You buy, it's like a website address. This is an address for your crypto wallet. So my wallet, I own huda.eth. If you want to send me something, you send it to huda.eth. You don't have to type in that really long string of characters. So it has utility. It's actually really great utility. I believe they built a chat instant messaging or DM system into ENS too. So there's going to be a lot of use cases for this going forward. This will be your identity in Web3 online in the future. And for a lot of people, it already is. And that's really what I want to point out here. High sales volume. These are ripping. And I'm scrolling through and trying to get an idea of why all of a sudden. They've always had their time to shine, just not always consistent. In fact, maybe I can show that. Yeah, you can see it's always up and down. Super choppy. But today, in particular, absolutely going ballistic. Let me move myself. You can't see that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Something changed right now. And there's always trends in ENS. Certain types of ENS, certain types of names that people gravitate towards for different reasons. A lot of people like 4-digit ENS, like a couple of numbers, like 1234.eth. They always end in .eth. And I think that's what's happening today is these 4-character, 4-digit ENS are selling, and they sell at a premium here. 0.3 ETH, 0.32, 0.33, 0.33. Yeah, these 4 digits are... Yeah, they're doing some numbers here. So I think that's what's happening along with, I'm finding it. Bear with me. Yeah, people really batch minting these. This person bought three of them for 0.66. Yeah, it's these 3 digits that are just selling like crazy. And there's also a project called the Friends Community. So they bought a billboard. They bought the that big billboard in Times Square, and they're somehow getting their community up on that billboard. So they have a contest for their community to get their own personalized message up there. Got to have an ENS to do it. Oh, dang. Yes, the winner of that contest will get an ETH. They're giving away NFTs. They're giving away ETH. So that's definitely driving some sales too. So those two things combined, right? For some reason, the 4-digit ENS just catching right now. I think they actually sold out too. Maybe that was part of it, was there was still some available and now they're gone. Completely sold out. And the only way you can probably get them is on secondary markets. A lot of us, and I'm saying us because it's me too, believe that ENS is going to be a major, major thing in the future, because they already are. Some ENS sell for 50, 100 ETH. Picture if you owned Google.eth or Amazon.eth and what those brands would pay for it to own their digital identity in the blockchain space. And they'll pay a ton, and they have paid a ton. So they're worth getting, for sure, they are. And some of them are cheap, right? If you go for your name and it's pretty unique, you'll probably have no trouble getting it still. We're still relatively early for ENS, although I wish you could have seen 2-ish years ago when everything, felt like everything was available. Definitely some opportunities there still, though. I think that brings us pretty darn current with, I guess, the major happenings here. But again, and like always, if I see something big, and we do have the DeGods Season 3 coming today, if we have something worth mentioning, I'll pop on here, I'll do a video. So do me a favor, content, feedback, I need it. Let me know, just everything, the tone, the format. If you really want to see more production, I don't know how to do the editing and stuff. Again, I'm going to learn it, but I want to know what you want to see. If you'd prefer to see maybe every morning just a 15-minute, much tighter live stream than just this, 15-minute daily updates live, nothing else after, right? That's just it. That's the day's content. But also, it would make sense to chop up short videos of that, put those out separately. I just want to know how you ingest this stuff. Two things. Are you interested in that type of content? Daily market updates where you can actually see it on screen. Plenty of people on Twitter that do live streams and they talk, but you can't see anything. So are you interested in a live stream where you see it on the screen and somebody's clicking through and walking you through? And again, if so, how deep, how long? Let me know, and I appreciate it. If you watched any of my videos already, thank you. Just know, this isn't just an experiment. It's not happening now and I'm going to give up because there's no views. I technically or truthfully don't care. I truthfully don't. I've been doing this for years already. All I'm doing differently is turning on my camera while I'm doing my own research that I'm already doing for my newsletter, 2 newsletters, for content. This is all I do. So it's no extra work on my part. I'm going to keep doing this. And I really think over the years we could build something very, very special. So I just, again, want to say thank you for anybody who's watched even a second of this content. Sure, part of it was painful, but I appreciate it. Hit me up with the content, with the comments, and until the next time, we'll see ya.